Your brother, what's up? So today I'm going to be sharing with you one of the main principles in Tantra, okay? So I was talking about what is Tantra, what is sexual Tantra, and I'm going to today talk about the core of sexual Tantra, which comes from a yogic tradition. It's a term, Brahmacharya, okay? Like it's a Sanskrit term. You can be like, what? What does it mean? Brahmacharya, which is an essential aspect in spirituality, okay? It's maybe you're not into such things and this is like a boogeyman for you, but still stay with me, listen to it, and in the end of the video you can just discard it, or if you don't want to use these techniques or follow this path, it's totally fine, but I have to share it with you. I'm going to talk more concretely, okay? So if a man is practicing this Brahmacharya, and many people do it without even knowing about these techniques, okay, like without knowing anything about yoga or philosophy or this tantric path, they are keeping their sperm as a man. They don't ejaculate. And you are, I hope, aware that there's this famous trend in the last decade or so. It's called NoFap, okay? I'm not a NoFap person, just relax, okay? In Tantra we are doing something else, and in a much more beautiful and pleasant way. NoFap means no porn and no masturbation. No porn aspect, maybe I can support. It's okay. I mean, in Tantra there are not strict rules. You can bend everything. So you can even you can watch porn in a controlled way, in a conscious way. Okay? Consciousness is very important in Tantra. Like one of the meanings of Tantra is about consciousness, expanding your consciousness. So, like you go into the football world or like political people, like they know these secrets, right? Like even in this movie, Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone is talking to Creed, the guy, before a big match, and he's with his lover and he says, remember the legs, no sex tonight, because the next, if he ejaculates, because sex means ejaculation in that world, in that understanding. And in Tantra, we can have sex and orgasm without ejaculation. But still, just in a normal sense, he will lose his energy. And it's not good for the legs. And next day on the match, his legs will be weak. It's connected with testosterone and other things. I'm not going to go very deep in there. But basically, a lot of people are aware of these things, you know, in the sports world. Like if there's a big match tomorrow, the whole team is forbidden to have sex. They can't meet their wives, right? So why not extend it? And the NoFap movement is actually depending on this scientific research done by Chinese scientists, that these guys who didn't ejaculate for 1 week, they are observed as having higher testosterone, right? So only 1 week results with an increase in testosterone. So imagine you're not doing it for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks. I mean, I'm not saying avoid sex overall. I'm going to talk about something else, okay? So this is typical Brahmacharya. In yoga world, or in Buddhism or Sufism, you will see a lot of people practicing this, because it's about having your energy, you know, not wasting your energy, preserving your energy. As a man, the number one way to preserve that energy is not ejaculation, keeping your sperm. The Tibetans call it bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the name for the sperm, but it's also the Buddha mind, like an expanded conscious mind, like a being, like a more conscious being. So if you lose your sperm, you lose your conscious being. You become more reactive, like you become more emotional. Do you observe this in your life? Maybe you do. Like if you ejaculate very often, maybe you become more reactive. If you don't for a while, you become more strong. Your mind becomes more strong. Your emotional body and balance is there. Your emotional body is more strong. So long story short, Brahmacharya, Brahma means the creative force, controlling that creative force, not wasting that creative force. I translate it as sperm economy. And ancient Chinese Taoist masters, they also talk about regulating the frequency of your ejaculation. If you are 40 years old, you don't ejaculate as often as you're 20 years old. If you're 20 years old, you don't ejaculate as often as you're 15 years old. You know, like our frequency of ejaculation needs to be less and less if you want to live a healthy life. Like if you're ejaculating every day 5 times when you're 50 years old, you will not be able to come over it as you were 15 years old. So there's a logic behind it. So it's called sperm economy. So one of the things that I'm teaching and coaching guys into is to how to ejaculate less and still have a lot of pleasure. How to masturbate and not ejaculate. What's the mindset behind it? What's the technique behind it? And then it's very achievable. If you, maybe in the beginning you have this mental resistance, but we can come over that and learn how to do it. So this is what Tantric Brahmacharya is. Tantric Brahmacharya is to have your cake and eat it. You can have masturbation and not ejaculate in the end and have an amazing experience if you do it the right way. And then you can take it from there, you can take it to your sex life, and you can still have sex and not ejaculate and have an amazing experience, an amazing life. You will have much more mental power, much more productivity, motivation, creativity, willpower, physical power, whatever you want, meditation, spiritual evolution. It's all coming with that. And I'm going to be sharing these pearls of wisdoms with you each and every day. Until next time, take care of yourself.